Sometimes you cannot see it truly with your eyes because we humans tend to create an idea and a picture of someone in our head, and we literally fully ignore who they really are. So know that toxic people have some dark places in them that they haven't faced yet. Meaning that if you don't heal the scars that you have within yourself, you will bleed on the people who are around you. And having a friend who genuinely loves you for you is a really, really, really great blessing, which can only be attained by letting go of toxic friends who don't love you for you. Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time, feeling awesome. In today's video, we'll be discussing toxic people. Now, it's also going to be about types of toxic people and how they are, and then it's going to be about types of people who face toxic people. Like, some people don't have any idea that the person that they're with is toxic. Some people know that somebody is toxic, but they're just not sure about it. They think that it's just a thought. And then some people feel the toxicness, but they don't know that they're toxic. So it might sound complicated, but once you watch this video and understand the thing that I'm saying, I'm pretty sure that in your relationships, in your friendships, and in all of your interactions, you no longer would have such issue. Now, first, how does it even feel to be around someone toxic? I'm just gonna say it out of experience, okay? So a toxic person, their energy level is going to be here because it's down, it's low. Of course it's going to be low. It's filled with worry, stress, anxiety, sadness, trauma, envy, jealousy, anything negative that you can find, hatred, grudge, whatever. Their energy would be at here, okay? For example, let's say that your energy is here, you're not toxic. When you interact with somebody who's toxic, whether they're your friend, they're your partner, whatever, or somebody random that you met on the street, they will bring you down to their level. And sometimes you might not feel this. Sometimes you might feel like maybe, for example, it was you who was not in a good mood on that day. Or you might think to yourself that maybe I'm somebody who's weird. Or maybe you will think to yourself that, they were good, they were nice, I enjoyed my time with them, I had fun with them. Now hear me out. Yes, you can have fun with anybody. In fact, having fun is most of the time pleasure, not peace. There's a whole difference between pleasure and peace. Pleasure is a type of feeling that you get when you're excited, when you're having fun. And for example, if your energy is at here, your energy will go at here. But as for example, one day passes, your energy will come down here. But peace is something that would put your energy on here, and it won't come down on here. Maybe it comes down on here as time passes and you absorb some negativity, but overall, if you don't absorb any negativity, your energy will still be here. That's the difference between peace and pleasure. And you can get pleasure from anything, buddy. You can get it by smoking, you can get it by, I don't know, drinking alcohol, doing drugs, this, that, whatever. But does that mean it's good? So interacting with everybody and just having fun with them is not enough. Your energy, your feeling, your time, and all of them matter a lot. You gotta be aware of how you feel around people. How do they make you feel? For example, I had really great friends in high school. I love them so much, and I'm really grateful to have had them, because if it weren't thanks to them, I wouldn't have been here. But they were toxic for somebody like me. For example, every time I was with them, they made me insecure about my height. Meanwhile, I was not short at all. I'm pretty much tall, but they always called me short and I felt short. Or for example, one day I was saying that having a wolf cut hair is kind of hard, it's difficult to style it. And then my friend would say, yeah, wolf cut hair is awful. And I was like, excuse me? Thank you for making me feel better about my hair. It really helps. And then overall I noticed that, they were just using me for, I don't know why, I don't have even any idea why they would want to be with me when they didn't even want me to be around them at the same time as wanting to be with me. It's random, Every time in a friendship, you have no idea what's going on. You get some doubts, you get some feelings that, this person is just just sometimes it's nice with me, sometimes it's toxic, they are toxic. You are not supposed to feel this way in a friendship. Friendships should be pure and they should bring you up. Look, you're giving your time, your energy, your everything when you're interacting with your friends, when you're around them. You're not supposed to be feeling low about yourself when you're with them. If they make you feel low, cut them off. If they make you feel bad about yourself, cut them off. You don't need friends who will bring you down. Look, if they make you self conscious about yourself, for example, if they say, you have such habits of, for example, nagging a lot. I think you should work on that. This is a good thing. Or if they, for example, make you self conscious about, I think that you kind of have anger issues. I think you should work on that. This is good because they're helping you get conscious of something that you had no idea about. For example, somebody who has anger issues, most of those having anger issues are not aware of that. So when you get aware of something within you that you need to fix, that's a good thing. But if they be like, I think that you talk too much. Excuse me? I am your friend. We are together having fun. I am open with you. It's different from talking too much. You should recognize the patterns. You should recognize whether they're saying it from love or they're saying it from jealousy, from a feeling that they want to bring you down because whether you want it or not, whether you want to accept it or not, most friends feel jealous of their other friend. And having the friend who genuinely loves you for you is a really, really, really great blessing, which can only be attained by letting go of toxic friends who don't love you for you, who just want to bring you down. Once I let go of these friends with love, look, I wouldn't be like, they were the most toxic friends ever, I hate them, blah, blah. No, I don't hate them, and I love them because if it weren't thanks to them, I wouldn't known. I wouldn't have known what it means to have toxic friends, and I wouldn't have been able to let go of them so that I can open space for those who are not toxic. So it's really important from what place you let go of them. And you gotta be aware of the energy you feel around people because toxicness is something that happens when somebody is low on energy. Look, some toxic people can't help it. We talked about how you feel around toxic people. Now let's talk about toxic people. I personally was toxic as well. And I worked on it recently, and I really am proud of myself. For example, how was I toxic? I would have bullied my friends as a way of love language. I would have, for example, been too sarcastic around them. I would have made fun of them and many things like that. And I thought that maybe it's cool. Maybe it's my love language because my previous friends were like that. And I thought that maybe it's love, but it wasn't. And I didn't know. I was unaware of it. And I made fun of my friends. I was too sarcastic with them. And I bullied them a lot. And then I thought to myself that, you know what, even if it's love is my language, even if it's my love language, well, it's hurting them. It's like saying, it's my love language to kill somebody. It can be said like that. And it's wrong, right? Killing somebody, you're killing somebody, taking away their life. Just because you love them doesn't mean you should kill them. Same goes for me. Just because I love them doesn't mean that I should make fun of them, doesn't mean I should bully them, doesn't mean I should be sarcastic too much. So as I got aware of it, I worked on it and it got better. And the more I worked on this, the less I criticized myself. So know that toxic people have some dark places in them that they haven't faced yet, that they haven't decided to look at yet. They have some scars that are bleeding, and when they meet with you, the bleeding will happen on you as well. Meaning that if you don't heal the scars that you have within yourself, you will bleed on the people who are around you. And that is really important to realize that toxic people, most of them, all of them in fact, are not truly and deeply aware of the fact that they're toxic. Some of them might be feeling cool and confident about being toxic, like, my personality is toxic. But at the end of the day, they just don't know how miserable it is and how pitiful you would feel about them, because it's just some scars that they haven't worked on. It's, for example, jealousy, hatred, envy, anxiety, stress, whatever that they haven't worked on. So they project their feeling onto you. And now I'm not saying this to you to go around every toxic people that you see and be like, I think that there are some scars within you that you should work on them. No, you cannot help them. The only help that you can give them is letting them go, letting them be, and let them find it out by themselves. If anybody came up to me and be like, poor me, I think it's really bad that you're really toxic. No, that you're too sarcastic. I would be like, what do you mean? It's fun. And I would deceive myself. Any toxic person would do that. Do you think that nobody has ever told them that they are toxic? No. Many people have told them they are aware of it, but not deeply, not truly, not knowing even where this toxicness is coming from. So, anyone, whether it's your friend, whether it's your life partner, whether it's just your colleague or some random person that you interact with, how are you able to not allow them to bring you down? By knowing and being aware that they cannot have any control on you. In fact, when they can have control on you? When you open your heart to them. When you fully trust them and you be like, yes, I'm gonna have expectations of you. You're a great friend, you're a great person, and I'm gonna be fully open with you. No, you gotta set boundaries for anybody you meet, okay? If you do not set boundaries, for example, if you hurt me, you're gonna lose me. If you disrespect me, my family, and my close friends, you're gonna lose me. If you be mean to rude and just, sometimes some people make you feel uncomfortable, right? You're out of my life. That is when you let go of the people that you don't need in your life. Like, who needs somebody who's going to bring them down? Then you open space for those who are going to love you for who you are, who are going to bring you up, who are going to help you bloom even better. They are going to find the beauty in you and they're going to help you make it even bigger. And that is the difference between toxic and true friends, toxic and true partners, toxic and true colleagues, and all of that. Sometimes toxic people are in your life to be a mirror to your soul. For example, today I was having a talk with a friend of mine who just got out of a really toxic relationship. And I told her, have you noticed that this ex of yours was literally mirroring to you everything that you should work on? That person literally showed you that you need to set boundaries. That person literally showed you that you gotta have a better self-esteem. That person literally showed you that you gotta prioritize yourself and put yourself first. So this is a way that you can even feel grateful about having toxic people in your life. And now that you're aware of it, you can let go of them, okay? You do not need to let them know that they're toxic. They know. They're just not aware of it. And they are not ready to face it. And if you still are not able to recognize whether somebody is toxic or not, listen the sound of your energy. Be aware whether are you feeling better after you meet with them or you're feeling lower. Sometimes you cannot see it truly with your eyes because we humans tend to create an idea and a picture of someone in our head, and we literally fully ignore who they really are. For example, you might create an angel out of a devil. This is really important to be careful not to fall for the idea that you have of someone. Be truly realistic and fully look at them. If they have flaws, love them with their flaws. I'm not talking about someone toxic, I'm talking about overall people. If they have flaws, love them with their flaws. If their flaws are bringing you down, be realistic with yourself and stop deceiving yourself and see it. And if they're bringing you down, well, cut them off. You gotta see people for who they are, okay? Toxic people are not holding on to you, sticking to you like this, being like, you're my friend, you're supposed to be with me, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You can leave them anytime you want. They're not holding a gun near your head like this. If you leave me, I'm shooting you with this. No. Maybe if you created such mental picture of them, maybe. But reality is not like that. Once you let go of them and once you erase them from your life, they're gonna be out. My friend, how did she get out of that relationship? By easily, simply just breaking up. And once they broke up, end of the story. No more toxicness. That is the point. You gotta first have the courage to open up your eyes to who they truly are, not just the picture and beautiful idea that you created of them. Okay? And then, second, you gotta have the courage to set your boundaries for anybody in your life. If they are not gonna meet with those boundaries, goodbye. And then, if they did not meet with those boundaries, I said goodbye, right? That one also needs courage. Here's the thing about the courage, okay? Why am I talking about courage? Because sometimes some people fear that they might not be finding any more people. Sometimes some other people might fear feeling judged. For example, their friends talking behind them. The islands heard something really interesting that they said, for example, they must be talking back about I'm sorry. They must be talking about you because when they talk about themselves, no one listens. Again, this is not my words. I heard it and it's really beautiful because you are not supposed to be worried about what people talk about, okay? People will talk. Let them talk. If they're gonna judge you, that's just gonna prove how toxic they are, okay? You're somebody who wants to get their life in their hands. You're somebody who no longer wants to be a prey to toxic friendships, to toxic people around them draining their energy, but wants to develop their life, wants to go above, beyond of who they were and want to break their limits. How is that possible? By letting go of these friends. I know they might judge you, they might talk bad behind you, they might do anything, but is that gonna change your life? Like, is their judging gonna, for example, stop you from developing? Is their judging gonna make you become who they think you are? It's just a random talk. It's just judging. Look, allow them to say whatever they want. Like I said, when they talk about themselves, no one listens. So they must be talking about you or anybody else. Most of the people who are toxic are also the ones that gossip a lot. And you should really be careful about these hints. And one of the other hints that I gotta tell you is their words not being aligned with their actions. Some friends would be saying really sweet to you in texts. Like in this generation, we're mostly in touch through phones, right? Much less than we are in touch through actions. So that's how you get this beautiful idea of them. That's how you get this beautiful illusion of them. But you gotta open your eyes to their actions. If they say they love you, if they say they care about you, do they show it in their actions? You gotta work on the courage that you have, and boom! You no longer will be disturbed and your energy will no longer be wasted by such people. Those people, it's not your pointing finger to those people. Your pointing finger should be to yourself, to myself. If anybody toxic is in my life, feeding and eating all my energy, it's not their fault. It's toxicness is their true, personality. It's their nature. But it's you who decides whether they should be in your life or not. So good luck being aware and careful and courageful about the people around you and the people you're choosing and putting around you because everybody has their own different effects on your life. In fact, I don't know if you've heard this, but if, for example, you have 4 bodybuilder friends, you're gonna be the 5th. And if you have, for example, 4 drug dealer friends, you're gonna be the 5th. And it's really important on what type of energy you get of you get from the friends around you. Like my advice to you is to be alone. Choose to be alone than around toxic people and those who bring you down and do not allow you to bloom as beautifully as you are. And eventually, once you choose to be alone, I guarantee you and I promise you that the best people will enter your life. So I hope that this video helps you, find out the truth about your friends and choose them better, because friends come and go, but it's your choice who comes and goes from your life. So good luck. Thank you so much for the time that you put here. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time.